Welcome to the Taking Vegas podcast. It is Friday, September 9th. Great game last night between Buffalo and LA. Right here, we gave you the under. That was really never in doubt. That was an easy one. Good to get that one. And we got some more great action going on for the weekend. 3 picks to break down in college football, 3 picks to break down in the NFL. I'm Chris Hodge. It's good to be with everyone. Again, Friday, September 9th. You might be catching this on Saturday or Sunday as well. That is completely okay. Going to get to a lot of game breakdown. You know, look, we hit the game last night. I'm happy we hit the game right here. We gave you the under. The videos, Instagram, Twitter, gave you the under. We're happy to win that game. But there's some stuff that goes on with these NFL coaches. And look, I know McVay is one of the better coaches out there. I get it. Super Bowl champion. I understand. But if you're watching that game last night, right? Buffalo pretty much kicked the you-know-what out of LA all over the field in the first half. By some miracle, LA is only down 10-7 and they get a turnover. And for some strange reason, McVay plays for a 57-yard field goal. Now, I know they had the sack in there, but they were driving. They could have done some different stuff. I don't understand. If you get out of that half with the lead, okay, it's a tremendous victory. Now, you can make the argument you get out of the half with a tie. It's still a tremendous victory. I don't see it that way. I really don't. First of all, you're playing for a 57-yard field goal. Yeah, the guy made it. Would have been good from 68. Okay, fine. But the chances of making a 57-yard field goal aren't great. Indoors, outdoors, doesn't matter. The chances aren't great to make those. So that's what you played for. And these coaches do this stuff. I don't get it. Like, what? Go for the throat. Like go for it. The hell are you doing? Throwing a screen pass to Cooper Kupp, hoping he breaks something and then play, and then don't call timeout and go for the 57-yard field goal. I don't get it. And then look, Buffalo, you can say whatever you want. Buffalo comes in the second half, and they showed why they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Because that was an ass-kicking. It was a polite ass-kicking, right? They were polite about it. Because if Buffalo wasn't polite about it, Buffalo would have won that game 48-10. Buffalo was just polite about it. And look, their defense, the addition of Von Miller, that paid instant dividends. You saw what he did last night. He was a wrecking ball. I mean, he just destroyed the LA offensive line. LA's got some problems. And you know who might make some money off that game? OBJ. Because, yeah, he's hurt right now, but they're going to need that dude when he comes back because just having Cooper Kupp do everything, it's not going to work. Cam Akers was clueless, quiet, didn't do anything. Stafford didn't look good. Kupp had a good game. He always has a good game. But besides that, I mean, 10 points from the defending Super Bowl champs, not good. But we gave you the under. Some college football going on tonight. A couple games available. I will give you a free pick as this podcast goes along on one of the 2 games being played. And then we'll have some free picks going for Saturday and Sunday as well. So, look, let's get right to it. First game on the board we're going to talk about Alabama and Texas. 12 o'clock Eastern time start on Saturday. We'll see what Robinson and Worthy are for Texas. Bijan Robinson, Xavier Worthy. 2 phenomenal players for Texas. 2 players with NFL aspirations. If you go and you perform against Alabama, your draft stock goes up. You always have that on tape, and that tape helps. But we'll see because Alabama, I mean, ever since Saban got there, and we're going on, 15 years now, 16 years? He has a knack for taking the other team's best player away. Very rarely does the other team's best player get you when you play against Alabama. You know the one guy that I could say got them, I can't even say Joe Burrow got them, but I remember when they played Cam Newton. Cam Newton got them. Off the top of your head, can you remember? Yeah, I know they lost to Georgia last year, but it wasn't really one player, that got them. Cam Newton got them. He was clearly the best player on Auburn. He won the Heisman Trophy that year. I can't remember another great player that Alabama did not take away. Alabama always forces the lesser guys to beat you. They've always done that. And we'll see if they're able to do that, come Saturday. Again, Robinson and Worthy are phenomenal talents. We'll see. Texas is 5-11 all-time versus number 1. They have some problems with their offensive line. It's not a good offensive line, and that is not a good situation because you got Will Anderson on the other side of the ball, who is probably, if he stays healthy this year, God willing he does, he's the number 1 overall draft pick next year. It's going to take a lot to maybe knock him off that mantle. Bama, -20 and a half, total 65 and a half. Look, Texas is 4-0 when they win the time of possession battle under Sarkisian. The thing is, they could try to do that against Alabama. I don't think that's going to happen. So, look, Alabama going to cover 3 touchdowns on the road. Here's what you got to do. If you're listening to this podcast, you also know we have the Sports Investors Daily radio show that is on every Saturday and Sunday morning. If you're tuning in, if you want to call 888-9-WIN-NOW, that's 888-994-6669. We have this pick absolutely free available. I said on the radio show I would do a breakdown of this, so that's what I'm doing. Again, Texas is really going to have to keep the Alabama offense off the field to have a prayer. But when you add in 3 touchdowns, kind of gets shaky. So you guys might be going back and forth on yourself. Look, also, today I want you guys to understand this. Or excuse me, for Saturday. We have a false favorite. So last week we gave out UTSA in this situation. They were +4. They covered the game. They probably should have won the game outright. They did not win the game outright, but they covered the game. We used them plus the points in the first half, on the money line in the first half. We used them plus the points for the game, on the money line for the game. So all total with that bet, we go 3-1. On Saturday, we have a false favorite that is a big 2-1. It's at least 2-1 on the money line. Okay, this is not some 3-4 point underdog. This is a big underdog that we feel is going to win outright. So again, available at 888-994-6669. Moving on, Tennessee and Pittsburgh. This was a really good game last year. Pittsburgh won it. It was a back and forth game last year. This is another weird game because Tennessee is number 24 in the country. Pittsburgh is 17, and Tennessee is on the road, and Tennessee is -6. So right there, people go, what's going on with that? And I'm not going to lie, you could definitely, it causes some pause. It definitely does. Total 64 and a half. Again, high-scoring game last year, entertaining game last year. 41-34 was the final. Pitt winning at Tennessee. Tennessee had a lot of opportunities to blow that game open early. Hooker missed some throws early in the game that would have been touchdowns and probably put Pittsburgh away. They weren't able to do so, and then Pittsburgh did what good teams do last year. And they were a good team last year. They got it done on the road, but they've lost a lot of players off that team. Tennessee is building in the SEC there. They're still, I don't want to say it like this because it offends people, and I don't feel like getting the emails, but they're still subpar SEC. They're middle-of-the-road SEC, okay, which is still better than a lot of teams in the country. We saw Florida. Florida's subpar SEC, and yes, I know. I've already gotten the complaints from the Florida fans. You are not beating Georgia. You are not beating Alabama. You are not beating those type of teams, all right, if you're Florida. Forget that. Yes, it's a nice win. Enjoy it. But you're at the cocktail party in the end of October, Georgia's going to destroy you guys. So just enjoy it now, okay? Just have fun with it. But Florida's subpar SEC. Tennessee's subpar SEC. But they're still good teams across in terms of national landscape. When you play a team like Utah, you play a team like Pittsburgh, see what they could do. But Tennessee -6. Tennessee, easy win last week. 59-10 against Ball State. Pittsburgh had to grind out a win against West Virginia, the backyard brawl, one of the best rivalries. It was nice it got rekindled. But Pittsburgh gets the job done last week in a game that they needed a pick 6 late to win. So they come home. They're getting 6 points. Total 64.5. Again, give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. That game is free. I told you I would get to a free pick here on tonight's board. There are 2 games tonight, Louisville and Central Florida, along with Boise State and New Mexico. So these are, 2. The Louisville game, it's always interesting when you catch UCF on a Friday night, especially at home. And then, Boise State off a disappointing loss last week. Not good at all. And New Mexico's, I don't care that they won last week. They're terrible. But we're going to look at the over in the Louisville-UCF game. That over right now is 61.5. Again, Louisville did not look good last week against Syracuse, but Louisville is supposed to be a pretty decent team this year. They got some good players, and UCF scores points at home, and if you look at what they've done weeknights at home, they put up some points. So Friday night lights, everyone's excited. We'll go with over 61.5. That is the free pick for this podcast on Friday. And then we have more great action available Saturday and Sunday. We're going to continue to speak about it right here. So we will look at now Houston and Texas Tech. Here's another one. Houston, 25 in the country, off a win against UTSA last week. They did not cover, though. And now all of a sudden, Texas Tech, who's unranked, is -4 at home. And last year, Texas Tech put a pretty good thrashing on Houston and beat them 38-21. Texas Tech, you always know what you're going to get from them. They have a really good offense. They really don't play great defense. But if you look at what Houston did last week, I mean, look, Houston was lucky to get out of that game with UTSA with a win. Lucky. In every aspect of the word. They had no business beating UTSA last week, and it just so happens that they made enough plays. Quarterback got hot. He got hot running the ball, and UTSA really couldn't stop them, and they win the game in overtime. They get out of there in overtime with a win, 37-35, but they do not cover the 4. And Texas Tech, look, 63-10 against Murray State. No one cares, but Texas Tech is still legit Big 12, still a good football team. You're going to get a lot of offense from them. You're not going to get great defense from them, but it is odd. Houston -25, Houston 25 in the country, and Texas Tech -4. That's a weird one. So again, we have this pick for free. It's 888-994-6669. And again, if you're catching this on Friday, a lot of you aren't. A lot of you have missed the free pick. If you're catching this on Friday, you catch the free pick with over Louisville and UCF. Obviously on Saturday, if you're looking for free picks, and again, last night we won with the under in the Buffalo Rams game. If you're looking for free picks on Saturday, 888-994-6669. We'll go over to the NFL now. We got a couple games to break down. It is a fascinating board for week 1 because if you look at the spreads of these games, not one of them, as of doing this podcast on Friday, this could change. It's not going to change by much, but not one of them over 7 points. Not one of them. And that's really, really odd. I mean, a lot of these games, look, let's just run it down, right? Baltimore's -7 over the Jets. The Saints are -5.5 over Atlanta. New England, Miami's -3.5 over New England. Cleveland and Carolina's a pick, maybe one either which way. Cincinnati's -6.5 over Pittsburgh. 49ers are -6.5 over Chicago. Eagles, here's a tricky one. Here's an eyebrow raiser. If I had just closed my eyes and in April or May or even June didn't see the point spreads for week 1 and I was asked to make them, this is the one I would not have been close on. I would have had the Eagles as a 10-point favorite. Easy. So the Eagles are -4. That looks like a trap to me. By the way, there's a fascinating stat going around. We don't really believe in stats and trends all too much because everyone could see them, but Lions week 1 overs, like 10 straight, 11 straight week 1 overs for the Lions, especially last year was a very high-scoring game against San Francisco. Indianapolis and Houston, Indianapolis -7. That's another one I thought would have been higher. Washington -2.5 over Jacksonville. Kansas City -5.5 over Arizona. Chargers -3.5 over Las Vegas. Packers -1.5 over the Vikings. Titans -5.5 over the Giants. Bucks -2.5 over the Cowboys in Monday night game. Broncos -6.5 over Seattle. Not one game over a touchdown. Here on TakingVegas.com, we have a write-up with the Baltimore game. Baltimore was the free pick. Baltimore's supposed to kill the Jets. Jets got problems with the offensive line. Baltimore has a very good defensive line. Lamar Jackson is a tremendous quarterback. Contract or no contract, he's a tremendous quarterback. They have great players on offense. They got a good run game. Jets just not going to have enough to stay with Lamar in that offense, and Flacco's not going to do enough for the Jets offensively to stay with that. So we'll lay 7 in Baltimore. That should be an easy win. In terms of breaking down the games that we will be talking about on the radio show, New England and Miami. Look, I mean, New England's got a lot of questions. Very rarely, over the last, 22, 23 years? I mean, do you guys remember out there the media questioning Bill Belichick the way he's been questioned the last 4 months. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Who's calling the plays? What are you doing? What's the game plan? Is Mac Jones ready? This offense doesn't look good. This defense doesn't look good. You're cutting guys that were good players. Like, he's been hit with a lot of questions. And, going into this matchup, I mean, if you look at Miami added some weapons, man. Waddle, that's a good draft pick from a couple years ago. Obviously, Tyreek Hill. They got good running backs. They got a great tight end. It is all going to center around Tua. You're going to find out if this kid is a legit quarterback. Is he well, you could say of both guys. Are both guys a product of Alabama? Because Mac Jones played there too. Where you just throw the ball up and these guys go catch the ball and have fun with it. But we'll see. Miami's -3.5. Again, that would be a free pick for Sunday at 888-994-6669. You look at another game, Indianapolis and Houston. Matt Ryan. Yeah, man. I mean, phenomenal career with Atlanta. Unfortunately, he's best known for blowing a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. It is what it is. It happens to the best of us. That's what you remember Matt Ryan for. He was part of the team that blew the biggest lead in Super Bowl history. Atlanta has never recovered from that game. Literally, they never recovered from that game. You talk about, putting a nail in the coffin of a franchise. That is what I feel like New England did to Atlanta. It's crazy. But now he's on Indianapolis. Indianapolis gets rid of Carson Wentz. And look, say what you will about Carson Wentz. I don't blame. And he took the fall for Indianapolis not making the playoffs last year. It is what it is. I don't buy that. I've always said, I've done radio shows since 2006. I have always said this. I always will, and I don't care who argues the point with me. I'll argue it right back. Quarterbacks get too much blame for a loss. They get too much credit for a win. Always has been the case. Always will be the case. With 30 of them. Maybe 28 of them. Right? Aaron Rodgers, he deserves credit for a win. Tom Brady, he deserves credit for a win. Pat Mahomes, he deserves credit for a win. I mean, they get murdered for losses. They get murdered. And look, Indianapolis could have played better around Carson Wentz last year. Did he perform great? No. But he took the fall. Now you go get Matt Ryan, and we'll see. Look, Texans aren't a great football team. You guys know that down there in Houston. They're not. You guys get 4 wins out of them. You're happy this year. They're not a great football team. So, again, you're laying a touchdown on the road there. It's one of the bigger point spreads, them with Baltimore. And then over to KC in Arizona. This one had some juice kind of taken away from it with the D-Hop suspension. I always love when guys get suspended and they have no idea how the stuff ended up in their body. I love that. You know who I respect? A little bit off on a different topic here, but you know who I respect, and I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this one. The guy I respect the most is Alex Rodriguez, right? When he got caught in Texas, he literally sat up there did a press conference, said it was amateur hour. I took this with my cousin. I mean, how stupid as that is, at least he sat up and said, well, I don't know. I don't know how it got in my system. I drank water. I ate tainted meat. Remember that one? That was Canelo Alvarez. I ate tainted meat. Well, who was the last guy? Tatis? That was a great one, too. Right? What was it? Ringworm? Who comes up with, just say it. You know what? I screwed up. I did it. You could at least respect that. But I don't know. I'm a multi-million-dollar athlete. I didn't know. I took this pill. I ate this stuff. How about you just shot a needle into your ass and you tried to become the best version of yourself in terms of athletics? Because there's millions of dollars at stake. Say that. Just say that. Yeah, guys, you know what? Instead of making $2 million, I wanted to make $20 million, so I took steroids. You can at least live with that. I don't know. See, that drives you crazy when people lie to you. Right? They put their shoulders up. I don't know how this happened. It's comical. But this one lost some juice. I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. This one lost some juice because no D-Hop, and it's going to be really tough for Arizona. But then it gets the juice right back when they signed Kyler Murray and they put a stipulation in the contract that they had to rescind. That he had to watch 4 hours of game film each week on his own. So and listen, again, oh man, going off on a tangent here. This one was comical, right? I don't care that they rescinded it. It means nothing to me, okay? They originally put it in the contract. So they originally thought enough that he wasn't watching film and he wasn't doing his due diligence that they had to put that into the contract. But then it becomes public, and again, they do, well, we don't know how this got in here. We didn't mean to do that. You're a bunch of liars. Like, just come out and say, you know, again, you know who I respect? The GM for the Nets. The GM for the Nets does a interview early in the offseason. We want guys to be accountable. We want guys to be here. They have to come to work. No, we're not giving Kyrie his contract extension. We want people to come to work. Great. And what happened? Kyrie and Kevin Durant are back. Yeah, they bitched, moaned, complained, screamed. They do all the things the divas do, but they come back. Like, I don't know. But yeah, we put this in, but we'll take it out. Like, ridiculous. You guys don't think he's watching film? He's not watching film. Say that. He needs to work harder. We're going to give you your money because you're a phenomenal talent and you're a nice enough dude. And we feel like you can lead us, but you need to work harder. Nothing wrong with that. This is America. There's nothing wrong with that, telling a guy he's got to work harder. What the hell are we living in here? So we have that going on. But Chiefs -5.5 over the Cardinals. Totals 53.5. Obviously, Kansas City's been to 4 straight AFC title games. Cardinals are trying to get out of their own way. They got bounced out of the playoffs last year in bad fashion against the defending Super Bowl champs. Line opened at 2.5, but again, no D-Hop. It goes to 5.5. 6 in some places. We have this game for free. 888-9-WIN-NOW. 888-994-6669. That is the number to call. And again, guys, look, if you're listening to this on Saturday, or if you're listening to it on Friday, gave your free pick on the over in the Louisville UCF game. Also, for Saturday, we're already releasing this game. For Saturday, we have a false favorite, and this is a big one. Yes, we had UTSA last week +4. This is basically double that. This is in the 7, 8, 9 area where we feel they're going to win the game outright. Okay? It's a big, big underdog, especially on the money line. That is our false favorite. Terrible line. Terrible line. So 888-994-6669. Get you involved with that. We also have some totals that we're releasing as well. Some big stuff there. And when Sunday gets here, we have 3 big games that we're releasing for week 1. Again, last night, hit the under. Hit that for free. It was all over Twitter, Instagram, here on the podcast stuff. Under was Buffalo and LA. And now we look forward. Great Friday night here. Already releasing the Saturday game, so call 888-994-6669 to get that. And then you could check us out here. Sports Investors Daily, the radio show, will be played all over the country Saturday and Sunday, trying to teach people how to bet responsibly, how to bet correctly, how to bet with patience and discipline, because that's what you guys need to do to have success in the world of sports wagering. Enjoy your Friday, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Check out takingvegas.com. If you're not already on the site, sign up. There's free picks available. And enjoy the day. Let's make some money together. All right, boys? Have a great weekend, everyone.